a cauldron that can explode any moment. Israeli Indologist David Shulman predicts a third Palestinian uprising, suggests a confederation as path to peace with Israel. Nicolas Maduro back with fear finds. Why is Meta shutting down its fact checking? And Shami returns for England T20 Is. Parties in capital trade Bab's over choice of CM candidate. Delhi's three major political parties, Aam Aadmi Party, BJP and Congress, on Saturday crossed swords over the choice of chief ministerial candidate for the assembly election scheduled on Feb 5. AAP national convener Arvind Kejriwal fired the first volley by saying that sources have told him that BJP has picked former South Delhi MP Ramesh Biduri, who is contesting from Kalkaji against CM Atishi as its chief ministerial face. Three more bodies retrieved from flooded Assam mine. Multiple agencies keep up work to locate five other trapped miners. Rescue workers retrieved the bodies of three workers from a flooded rat hole mine, coal mine in Dima Hasao district in Assam on Saturday afternoon, taking a death toll to 4 in the accident that took place on January 6. Officials at site in Kalamati area, about 28 km from industrial town of Umrangso, said an army and NDRF response team recovered the bodies between 7:28 and 12:40 pm. The deceased have been identified. Efforts by multiple agencies, including the Navy, to rescue the five miners still trapped in the 90-meter pit continued for the fifth day. Dima Hasao District Commissioner Simanta Kumar Das said. Efforts to find other miners will resume tomorrow morning, but dewatering will continue throughout the night. The water level is down to about 15 meters, with 6 pumps draining out 243 lakh liters per hour from the affected mine. Six more pumps are simultaneously draining out water from the three abandoned mines nearby, all at lower elevation than the ill-fated mine. While heavy-duty pump bought by Coal India Limited from Nagpur will need some more time to be set up, once the CIL pump goes into the mine, the six small pumps will have to be taken out. Our priority is on mobilization to wrap up the operation. BJP attempting to enroll fake voters on a large scale in New Delhi, Aam Aadmi Party. The Naini Bridge over Yamuna Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh should shrouded in blanket of dense fog on Saturday as severe cold weather continues in northern states. HAL asked civil operators to ground Dhruv helicopters. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited has advised civilian operators to ground the indigenous Dhruv Advanced Light Helicopters Mark III until the cause of crash in Porbandar last week is identified. The armed forces have already temporarily grounded their 330 Dhruvs following their January 5 crash of an Indian Coast Guard helicopter during the training sortie that killed all the three crew members on board. Many trapped as waiting hall collapses at Connaught Station. A partially built waiting hall collapsed at Connaught railway station in Uttar Pradesh, trapping several construction workers and railway staff under the debris. At least 7 people suffered injuries. A two-story building was under construction at the station, which is being renovated under the Amrit Bharat scheme. A ceiling slab of the waiting hall suddenly collapsed. 7 special courts will be set up to hear sexual assault cases, says Tamil Nadu Chief Minister. Tamil Nadu Earlier in the day, the Assembly passed the Criminal Laws Tamil Nadu Amendment Bill 2025 and Tamil Nadu Prohibition of Harassment of Women Bill 2025. The bill moved on by Chief Minister on Friday are aimed to enhance the punishment of sexual offences against women and children, as well as prosecuting those harassing them on digital and electronic platforms. Kapil Mishra, ex-CM's feature in second BJP list on 29 names. Rahul Gandhi to address his first Delhi election rally tomorrow. BJP attacks AAP corruption in Polsang. CM urges Naga leaders to play a bigger role in resolving Manipur ethnic conflict. A third party is required to resolve the current issues and for restoration of peace, says Biren Singh. clashes between Kuki and Miti communities have left 250 people dead since May 2023. Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh on Saturday requested the church and other leaders of the Naga community to play a greater role in resolving the ongoing ethnic conflict. Clashes between Kuki and Miti communities have left 250 people dead and thousands homeless since May 2023. The Nagas were not involved in this conflict. Addressing a program at Maram in Naga majority at Senapati district, Mr. Singh said, I want to appeal to the Naga community that a third party is required to resolve the current issues and for restoration of peace. For this, church and community leaders need to take responsibilities and initiative. All grievances and problems can be resolved under the constitution and laws of Manipur government. Whatever happened, happened. It's time to forget and forgive. We need to jointly walk on the path of peace and bring back the former Manipur. We need to jointly work together to resolve this crisis. I seek the support of all those gathered today, including elected members, former elected members, and church leaders. The Chief Minister said he is available 24/7 and will provide whatever help is needed from the government. Mr. Singh said, I need your help. Somebody has to come forward. During the Kuki and Naga clashes of the 90s, we tried hard to bring a solution. Similarly, I seek your support now. I have heard such endeavors to bring peace being taken, but I urge you today to take the initiative assertively. The concern of the indigenous people should be addressed, and all the 34 recognized tribes of the states need to live together. He said his government has waged a war against drugs and added that identifying illegal immigrants is required to protect the numerically lesser indigenous communities. Women dies in hospital after delivery, negligence say Bengal opposition party. Death of women in Mednapur Medical College and Hospital. Died in Thursday at state-run health facility. Uttarakhand BJP expels 6 rebel leaders. Chhattisgarh silo crash, 3 more bodies recovered, death toll 4. Omar inspects Zimora tunnel. Security arrangements were further tightened in Kashmir ahead of Prime Minister Modi's visit to inaugurate Zimora tunnel on January 13. Jammu and Kashmir CM Omar Abdullah visited the project on Saturday. He appreciated the efforts in completing the vital infrastructure, officials said. He also visited the venue where the PM is scheduled to dedicate the project to the nation. Mr. Abdullah also posted pictures on X. In response, PM Modi said, I am awaiting my visit. You rightly point out uh, the benefits for tourism and the local economy. Also loved the pictures and videos. Renaming Kolkata's Star Theatre is historic yet futile. The iconic century-old Star Theatre at crossing of Aurobindo Sarani and Bihan Sarani in North Kolkata now carries a different nameplate, Binodini Theatre. A few days after CM Mamta Banerjee's renaming announcement in December, all banners and plaques at the auditorium were promptly replaced. While this change might seem innocuous to some, it is considered by many as historically significant. 30 cyber fraudsters held online under Operational Cyber Shield. Besides indulging in nefarious activities, the accused were allegedly training new batch of fraudsters. Along with the accused operating through 8 gangs, 2 minors have also been detained. One of the accused, 25-year-old, a resident of Tong district's Kheda Kumav village, received training in cyber frauds in Sri Lanka. Shiv Sena to go solo in upcoming civic polls, says Sanjay Raut. Worker unions ask Bengal BJP to help resume MG NREGS. Representatives of 7 worker unions on Saturday held protest outside the office of West Bengal BJP, demanding the resumption of 100-day work under MGNREGS, which has been suspended for over 3 years. The workers met BJP spokesperson and Rajya Sabha MP Samik Bhattacharya. A few days ago, Pachim Bengal Khet Majur Samiti, a union of agricultural workers, had blamed the politics of West Bengal BJP behind the suspension of MGNREGS funds for the past 3 years. The delegation of representatives that missed the BJP leader comprised Anuradha Talwar, Subha Pritam Roy Chaudhary and Uttam Gyan. A press statement by Seven Workers Union assured uh, that Mr. Bhattacharya assured them, being our Rajya Sabha MP, he shall raise the issue in upcoming budget session, undertake necessary action. The unions also submitted a memorandum to the state BJP president Shaukat Majumdar stating that Section 27 of the Manrega empowers the central government to stop funds only for a reasonable period. The central government bears the bounden duty to take immediate steps to address the worsening crisis faced by rural workers in West Bengal. But still, out of some petty political vendetta against the state government led by Trinamool Congress, the central government led by BJP has thwarted funds under MGNREGS, thus depriving the rural workers. JMM President Shibu Soren turns 81. Workers celebrate 4 HMPV cases in Gujarat as 9-month-old test positive. The infant was admitted to the private hospital in the city on January 6 with cold, cough, and difficulty in breathing. He has no history of foreign or other travel, the Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation says. Ram Temple gives hope to suppressed civilizations, UPCM. The Chief Minister bowed in front of Ram Lala's idol, lit a lamp, offered flowers, and performed Aarti. He also paid tribute to late Ashok Singhal, former working president of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad. Plea in Supreme Court seeks recall of Tamil Nadu governors or walkout from assembly. Uh, the petition filed by Supreme Court advocate and petitioner C.R. Jayasukin called the governor's conduct shameful as Tamil Nadu Tamil Thai Vazatu invocation was being sung at the beginning of the function since 1967. Reasons behind Tamil Nadu's refusal to read customary address absurd CM Stalin. A murder on a Punjab highway has exposed the struggles of transgender sex workers. On a foggy evening, Preet, 37, was flirtatiously speaking to potential client when she was intercepted by a police officer near tea stall along the Ludhiana-Rupnagar route on National Highway 344A. The policeman produced a sketch and asked her barrage of questions. Have you seen an effeminate man? One of the saffron dupatta covering his face. Week later, she saw the same man flash on televisions in every dhaba and theka. Some Hindi newspapers call him gay killer, and others went on to explain how a gay man had targeted 11 men, looted and killed them. She recalls. Next is probe against Exa logic in public interest center to High Court. Center defends action against company owned by Kerala CM Dr. Veena. Girls asked to remove shirts as punishment in Jharkhand school. In a shocking incident, the principal of private school was accused of ordering more than 100 girls in 10th grade to remove their shirts after their friends wrote messages on them. The parents of the students have demanded strict action. The incident occurred which was the students' last day of school before board exams. The 10th grade students wrote good wishes on each of their shirts. However, the act did not go down well with the school principal, who instructed them to remove their shirts and go home in their blazers. Kerala police arrest 14 for sexually abusing minor girl. Case against PC George for hate speech. The Kerala police have registered a case against BJP leader PC George for alleged hate speech. AP police destroyed rooster fight arenas. Allu Arjun gets relief in bail condition. Extensions given to those in government service, a setback for those next in line. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar has disfavored extensions given to those in government services, saying such a step affected the prospects of those next in line, he said, there have been cases where employees, particularly those in premier services, never seem to be retiring and continuing in service even after superannuation by getting some ad hoc positions. Delivering the inaugural address at the 25th National Conference of Chairpersons of all state public service commissions in Bengaluru, he said extension of service defies the logic principle of expectation. We have a doctrine of expectation. People devote decades in a particular groove. Extension indicates that an individual is indispensable. Indispensability is a myth. Talent abounds in this country. No one is indispensable. I work as per party wishes and I do not want anybody's support, says DK Shivkumar. Karnataka's Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivkumar says he will not expect any MLA to raise his or her voice in his support and that he will work as per the Congress party instructions. Kadamattam Church gets a makeover. The popular Kadamattam St. George Orthodox Church has got a new lease of life thanks to the efforts by history buffs. Sabrimala gearing up for Makara Vilakku. Three more bodies retrieved from Assam mine, BJP attempting to enroll fake voters, and many trapped in Kannauj station collapse. Bead murder, 8 accused of face charges under Makoka. While the Maharashtra Control of Organized Crime Act has been invoked against the 8 accused in Beed Sarpanch Santosh Deshmukh murder case on Saturday, political leaders have raised concerns over Valmik Karan not being charged under the act. Himachal CM points out troubling trend of synthetic drugs. Sukhu addresses conference on drug trafficking by the NCB. Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu on Saturday uh, underscored a troubling trend towards synthetic drugs, even as Punjab counterpart Bhagwant Mann sought the union government's intervention to provide financial assistance to Punjab for setting up a special narcotics drug and psychotropic substances courts to check drug menace, pointing to the problem impacting the socio-economic conditions of Punjab. Both chief ministers were virtually addressing Both chief ministers were virtually addressing on drug trafficking and national security. Trade unions slam L&T CEO remark on 90-hour work week. Principle is against principles of human dignity. The Central Trade Unions on Saturday condemned a statement by the chairman and managing director of Larsen and Toubro, S.N. Subramaniam, favoring a 90-hour work week. Policy is against principles of human dignity. It seems that there is a rogue competition among the corporate messiahs to rinse the blood and sweat of Indian workers, and they are in active connivance and collaboration with the corporate communal regime and governance by Modi-led NDA. With retreat, Meghalaya cabinet goes places. Delhi High Court rejects bail in to IAS associate in terror case. Health professionals urged to communicate proactively to allay concerns on HMPV. Mob destroys Assam Rifles makeshift camp in Manipur. A mob on Saturday stormed and destroyed a makeshift camp in Assam Rifles in Manipur, Kamjong district over alleged harassment and restrictions on transportation of timber. Members of the group that attacked the camp in Hongbi area belong to Kasom Khullen block of Naga Majority District. Tensions escalated on Saturday when the Assam Rifle soldier allegedly barred a transportation of timber intended for construction of houses in Karsum Khullen. Assam Rifles personnel used tear gas shells and fired in the air to disperse the protesters, they said. Mob later destroyed the makeshift camp of the paramilitary force and demanded that they be removed from the area. No casualty was reported. The Assam Rifles is one of the central forces deployed in parts of Manipur, which has been in grip of the ethnic violence between Kukis and Meiteis that left over 250 people killed and 1,000 homeless since May 2023. It is no good to wait for the public to be concerned about information circulating on social media platforms when it is very difficult for them to then actually overcome it. As public health workers, we have to be much more proactive to reach out to people. West Bank, a cauldron that can explode at any moment. David Shulman is an Israeli Indologist, poet, and peace activist. Says the West Bank has witnessed enhanced settler violence ever since the latest war between Israel and Hamas. Today's Israel looks like South Africa at the height of apartheid just a few years before the system collapsed. You have written about systemic change in 16th century South India. The 16th century was also a period where you saw in Europe the Reformation, the 30 Years' War, and the rise of Westphalian system. Do you see any parallels between South India and 16th century and Europe? I think in both cases there was a systemic change, a civilizational change. You could say in Europe there was great watershed when Catholic Church split into Protestants and Catholic, and they went on war with one another. And that was the time of emerging imperial autocracies like Habs works in Vienna and Spain, and also the French. That eventually produced the modern revolutions in French and in America and in later in Russia. It happened here in India in a very different way, and in an indigenous way that had nothing to do with influence of what was happening in Europe. Systemic change means that in all of the major arenas there are substantial structural changes in the social realm, in the economic sphere, in the political domain. For example, we have new kind of South Indian states with new mode of political thinking and the new kinds of political legitimization. And in the expressive domains is literature, music, graphic arts, sculpture, architecture, theater. You can see that there is a whole new world, a new conceptual world, a new understanding of how mind works, new understanding of what it means to be human being. You have also written about the newness. Can you explain that? Many people, for example, Sheldon Pollock, actually have written about the Navta or newness. In earlier modern time, before the massive intrusion of European powers, there was a palpable sense of novelty. Suddenly, people are talking about something being or feeling new. This is also true of music, literature, and painting. How do you look at the developments in West Asia in light of Hamas 20, October 7, 2023 attack? Well, we are in a very deep crisis, and that includes the humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. The Hamas atrocities of October 7 were unparalleled in Israel's history. Now the war has gone on for some 15 months and shows no sign of stopping. On the West Bank, we have Israeli colonialization that has been going on for several decades. All of the Israeli settlements, without exception, sit upon stolen Palestinian land, and the settler population has grown to several lakh, planted in the midst of Palestinian population on the West Bank, some 2.5 million. The extremist settlers are driving the Palestinians on the West Bank into a situation of horrible precariousness. There is a system in place that supports this. That means the army, the police, the military courts, the Israeli media, public and social media, and the government which funds and supports the settlements. The goal is to take as much Palestinian land as they possibly can, with as few Palestinian people living on it as possible. This that is been true for a long time, but since October 7, the situation has exacerbated enormously. In addition to settler violence, there are military operations in Jenin and Nablus. The West Bank has become a cauldron that could explode at any moment. I think it is extremely likely that there will be a third intifada worse than the first two. States generally are violent, still, you might see internal and external constraints. Do you think? it doesn't work in case of Israel. I think it works to some extent. There are still some constraints, including on army operations on Gaza, but the figures of killed and wounded are shocking. In the northern part of Gaza, there are no buildings left standing, and the population has been displaced to into tent cities farther south. We have some 2 million people living in tents. There is not much enough food. What is the way out for Israel and Palestine? I can tell you the way out, that is constant eternal war. I can tell you the way not out, that is constant eternal war. The only real way out is some kind of settlement with the Palestinians who are our neighbors, and the only way to make life viable for everybody, Israeli as well as Palestinian, is to reach an agreement in a which the Palestinians, which have some form of political framework which will allow them to realize their cultural and civilizational ambitions. For Israelis, for the Jews, we have got that. We have a state that embodies some form of collective identities. It's not very effective state in many ways, but it's there. But Palestinians don't have any such framework. We have a dysfunctional political system, which is like a crazy zigzag puzzle. The structural situation perpetuates the logic when the extreme right has complete control over what is happening. It's an absurd situation. Israeli Palestinian Benjamin Netanyahu has devoted his life to preventing the emergence of Palestinian state. There are two things that he really cares about. That is one, and second is perpetuation of his own government, and they are linked. I think what should emerge someday somehow is some system that could be like confederation in which Palestinians would have control over their own lives and their own security. It would have to be demilitarized state. Israelis would have the control over their own lives and some overarching framework addressing security policy, social service, and every social needs. I'm not saying it would be easy to achieve it, but people said that about Ireland. South Africa is another example. It is not a happy place, but nonetheless, the apartheid was overturned. I think sometimes that today we are in Israel, maybe experiencing something like South Africa. Delhi welfare schemes will not be taken away if BJP comes to power, says Shah. Mr. Shah was speaking at the Jhukki Basti Pradhan Sammelan held at Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium on Saturday. Aam Aadmi Party has been attacking the BJP, warning that if it comes to power, it will not stop the welfare scheme, including those providing free electricity and water. However, Mr. Shah vowed no welfare scheme for the poor will be stopped, even if BJP forms the government in the city. He promised that if his party wins the election, every slum dweller will be provided a house under PM Awas Yojana. The app is a disaster, Mr. Shah allegedly. While India has progressed past over 10 years, Delhi has stayed stagnant. Delhi has become hell because of Abda. Aap MLA dies in accidental firing from his own pistol. Gurpreet Bassi Gogi. Nadda appoints ex-minister Ravindra Charan working president of Maharashtra BJP. BJP attacked Aap over undisclosed CAG reports. Criticizing the Aam Aadmi Party for causing 2000 crore loss 2000 crore to the loss of 2000 crore to the Delhi Exchequer in liquor scam. Mr. Thakur questioned why AAP had not tabled the report in assembly and accused former chief minister of deceiving the public in the run-up to the election. Responding to the allegations, Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Singh asked where the CAG reports were, why the BJP was not making them public, and whether they are locked away in BJP's headquarters. The intentional lapses in the policy's implementations caused 2000 crore loss to the exchequer money. Civil operators told to ground Dhruv copters after January 5 crash. Hindustan Aeronautical Limited advised civil operators to ground the Dhruv Advanced Light Helicopters Mark III until the cause of crash in Porbandar is known. January 5 crash of Indian Coast Guard helicopters for training sortie killed all crew members. The HAL has informed its operators that helicopter involved in accident did not respond to pilot control inputs in the final 3 or 4 seconds, according to helicopter industry source. HAL spokesperson neither confirmed nor declined the advisory. The BSF has 6 of these choppers on its fleet, and Jharkhand government has at least one through helicopter. The Coast Guard has constituted the board of inquiry into the accident. In September, one crashed during medical evacuation of the Porbandar coast, killing all three aboard. In March 2023, a Dhruv of Coast Guard crashed shortly after the takeoff in Kochi. There were no fatalities. There have been nearly 20 crashes involving ALH over the past 24 years. While some of these have been due to operational reasons because of extreme conditions of the chopper flies in such high altitude and low visibility conditions at night, there also have been concerns over control rods which was found to be broken. Subsequently, the rods were changed with an upgraded material. The inquiry spearheaded by ICG will reveal whether the cause of the crash was due to operational circumstances or a manufacturing flaw. Denotified tribes anger growing amid a stagnating scheme classification issues. With the center's seed scheme for denotified tribes now only taking off, caste certificates being denied to them in 29 states, and IDET Commission's 2017 report in cold storage, anger among the denotified tribes, semi-nomadic tribes, and nomadic tribes is growing in states such as Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, and Gujarat. The anger is now also frustrating members of the Union Government's Development and Welfare Board for DNTs, SNTs, and NTs, who are making fresh attempts to push for the implementation of IDET panel recommendations, which include permanent commission, proper classification, and detailed caste census. Bharat Bhai DBB DNC members said government can no longer shut out voices calling for the EDET Commission recommendations to be implemented. A schedule must be put out listing all the DNTs alongside the issuing of SC/ST OBC certificate. There must be directions to issue joint certificates for the SC DNTs, ST DNTs, and OBC DNTs. The government has constituted National Commission for DNTs NTs in 2015 and under the chairmanship of Bhikkhu Ramji Idat, which put out its final report in 2017 calling for government to expedite the final classification of these communities, count their population by including caste census column in the 2021 census, and provide a sub quota for them under SC/ST OBC quotas in public education and employment. The Idat Commission has concluded that there were total of 1526 TNTs, NTs, and SNT communities across the country, of which 269 were not yet categorized as ST, ST, or OBC. B.K. Lodhi, who was the member secretary in the Idate Commission, is now part of the Vimukt Ghumantu and Ardh Ghumantu Janjati Vikas Parishad in Uttar Pradesh said, "We were the first to resist British rulers and now branded criminals for it. How can this government not sort out these basic issues like TNT certificates across states? Uttar Pradesh is among 7 states that have technically begun issuing DNT community certificates, but Ms. Dr. Lodhi, who attended the national workshop in Delhi last year, said they are saying that they have issued some 200 to 300 certificates and painting it as some huge achievement. The seed scheme for economic empowerment of the NT and SNT communities was meant to be Center's flagship scheme for these communities. Launched in February 2022, this scheme offered assistance in livelihood, education, healthcare, and housing, but it took away over 2 years for the scheme to take off. BPSC sends legal notice to GSP founder Prashant Kishore with regard to allegations leveled by him on the commission. Bengal CID issues summons to Arjun Singh's son for January 13 to accident on construction site in Raipur after new National Museum in Delhi to display artifacts in chronological and thematic order. North Block and South Block in Delhi capital, which are set to house new National Museum, will have artifacts uh, arranged chronologically and thematically. The chronological arrangement will have 50 sections with each room and thus 250 galleries in total. The thematic sections will have displays from different subjects such as literature, architecture, and art. The new museum, which will named Yug Yugin Bharat Museum, will be able to house an estimated 25 to 30,000 artifacts and is expected to be the largest such museum in the world when completed. As of now, the National Museum has 2 lakh artifacts in total, out of which 7,000 to 8,000 are on display. Rijiju to ink a pact for Hajj pilgrimage in South Arabia. Minority Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju on Saturday embarked a 5-day visit to Saudi Arabia to sign a bilateral agreement for Hajj pilgrimage for 2025, where India is seeking an additional quota of 10,000 pilgrims. Rijiju is scheduled to meet Saudi Arabia Minister Tawaf Fazal Al Rabia on Monday, when the two leaders are expected to sign the bilateral agreement. He will visit the Jeddah Hajj terminal used by Indian pilgrims, where the government has dedicated an office space for facilitation. India's Hajj quota for 2025 was fixed by Saudi Arabia at 1,75,000 pilgrims, and the government is seeking an additional 10,000 quota. Out of total Hajj pilgrims quota allocated to India, 70% would be handled by the Hajj Committee of India, while the remaining 30% will be allocated to private Hajj group organizers according to the government's Hajj policy for 2025. In 2024, HCUI was allocated 80%, while private Hajj group organizers got 20%. Kolkata second in global list of cities with slowest traffic, Bengaluru third. India joins UN panel on data for official statistics. India has joined the UN Committee on Experts on Big Data and Science for Official Statistics. Statement of Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation said the panel was created to further investigate the challenges of big data, including the potential for monitoring and reporting on sustainable development goals. India will contribute to shaping global standards and practices in harnessing big data and data science for official statistical purposes. This membership is a strategic opportunity for India to align its domestic advancement in big data and data science. Manufacturers of medical devices seek MRP monitoring so that its domestic consumers can get affordable rates. So, thank you for listening. See you in the next one.